Hello everyone. So in today's video, I'm going to start my own set of lectures on English grammar and more specifically on the intermediate English grammar. And well, my name is Nikita and I am from St. Petersburg, Russia. And now I'm living in Tbilisi, Georgia. And I studied English at school and at university, and my current English level is somewhere in the middle of B1 and B2, somewhere between B1 and B2. And so I don't really want to pose myself as an expert or a guru in English or in language learning or in linguistics, but I am more kind of a person who just want to refresh my knowledge, who just want to refresh my grammar knowledge. And so if you are also kind of a person who, like myself, studied English some maybe a long time ago and just want to refresh the knowledge, then you are very welcome and you can study with me as well. And so I'm planning to base my lectures on this very good, wonderful Laser Intermediate Grammar Bank book, which is a book that I used when I was studying at school, right? And so in today's video, I'm planning to focus exactly on present simple, as I don't really want to give a lot of information just in one video. So I am planning to make a specific video for any specific topics that we have. And actually, let's maybe go ahead and start. And so in today's video, I'm planning to speak about present simple, and this video will be maybe around 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not very long for sure. And so present simple is a tense, is one of the most important tenses in English, and we actually use present simple when we want to speak about things in general, like about things that are just maybe truths in general, general truths, general facts, or maybe situations that happen repeatedly, that happen, let's say, every day or every month. Let's say like this. So there are like two possible cases. Either the situation happens all the time, or it happens regularly, repeatedly, right? And so let's maybe start with what we have here. And here we have basically three categories by this book. And they are the actions that happen always or usually or often, regularly, every day, week, month, year, sometimes, rarely, never. And these words are the words that are often used when we have a sentence in present simple, but it doesn't necessarily signal that it is a present simple, right? But these words are kind of often we can kind of meet them often when we see a sentence in English, in present simple, sorry. And so basically, we have an example. She usually goes to bed at 10 o'clock, which is just the situations that happens like each time when she goes to bed, right? And that's just something that like happens always, right? There are also states when we speak about something like not changing. For example, his hair is quite long. And general facts, for example, water freezes at 0 Celsius, right? And so I kind of added some more examples here. So with these situations, with this case, we can imagine a lot of examples. For example, he often plays piano. It always happens to me. Sometimes I go to the gym. You receive emails every day. They visit their friend in hospital each month. So these are just situations that happen really, like either repeatedly or every day or week or months, whatever. Okay, and so let's move on and go to states. So states, for example, I like swimming. You speak Norwegian. These are kind of facts that really don't change at all. It's like a permanent situation, right? And in these cases, we also use present simple. For example, we can say they live in Chicago, right? You speak Norwegian, you believe in God, we know this person. We can say, for example, he works hard in a context when we know that this person really have worked hard for a very long period of time, and it becomes some sort of permanent situation for this person, a situation that have no potential, situations that has no potential to really improve, to really change at all, right? So that's kind of a very important case when we use present simple. And third one is general truths or facts, and it's sort of related to the previous one. Well, here we can we use present simple when we speak about just the general truth, right? For example, water boils at 100 Celsius, right? Or freezes at 0. Night starts after day, right? So we have, let's say, light, we have the sun shining after the night period of time, right? We have, let's say, some mathematical or physical facts or geographical facts that are just facts, just general truths. And here we use present simple as well, like an atom contains protons and neutrons. Pythagorean theorem claims that this mathematical equation is correct, right? Missouri is a river in the USA, right? So that's just general facts. And so let's move on to the sort of grammar, how we construct the sentences here. And there are like 3 cases: positive, negative, and question. And 2 types of using. It's when we want to use present simple with verb to be, or with just any other regular verb, right? And so basically, let's maybe start with just regular verbs. So here we have the verb like. And basically the rule is that for he, she, it, which is the second person singular form, right? We should add this s at the end of the verb. And for other pronouns, we use just bare infinitive as it is. We say I like pizza, or you like pizza, or we like pizza, you like pizza, and they like pizza. But for this he, she, it, we should add s. And for negative, we should add either do or does, and as well for he, she, it, we should add does, and for other we're adding do, right? And this s kind of goes here to the end of this do, but also we add this note word, like we are saying I do not like pizza, or you do not like pizza, we do not like pizza. But for he, she, it, we should say she does not like pizza, so does instead of do. And there are also second case when we can that we can use. It's just saying don't instead of do not, or doesn't instead of does not, which is slightly more informal, but we should use it as well. And so for questions, we should just swap the first and second words, right? So we just transfer this do to the beginning of the sentence. For example, do I like pizza? Do you like pizza? Does he like pizza? Do we like pizza? Okay. And the important rule is that for some verbs, we don't only add s, we also add es. For example, not goes, but go es, go as. She goes, right? She does, but it is written as DOES or GOES. And for have or has, we have slightly different rules that we use have with I, we use a, but with he, she, it, we should use has. So we don't say haves, we say has. He, she has. He has piano. She has an ice cream, right? But I have, I don't know, headphones, whatever it will be. Okay, and so basically that's all for this book, but I kind of added several examples here as well, so let's maybe refresh it. So basically the rule is that for just verb that is not to be, we should just add it in its bare infinitive form, but with he, she, it, we also add s. And for negatives, we add either do or does, and then not, and then our verb. For example, he does not, I don't know, like swimming, right? And we also can say doesn't, he doesn't like swimming, or you do not play, I don't know, play piano or play the guitar, right? But you can also say you don't play guitar, right? And for questions, we just transfer this word to the beginning. So does he play the piano? Do you know English or whatever? And also there is a sort of case when we can union the questions and negatives, which is kind of extra knowledge. For example, we can say, doesn't he, and add some verb, doesn't he lovely, or don't you know how to become, I don't know, a programmer or whatever. And basically that's the rule for question plus negative. And so I think we are going to return to this topic somewhere in our next video, right? And so here's the rule about go and have and do. And actually, you maybe can ask me, like, why do we use doesn't he plus verb, but and can we, let's say does not he or do not I, for example, like this. And I actually also have thought about it, and what I'm using in these situations is actually just Googling and trying to find an answer. And so, for example, I always love to use Quora website, but you know, some people are criticizing this website, but still I think it's can be really really good, can be really useful when you are searching for an answer. And yes, maybe some of the answers are not correct, but definitely these are the answers from people who know this topic more, just better, right? They are more in the context. And so, for example, one of the answers about why don't we use, let's say, the sentences of form do not I or does not he with this full words is because in these cases it's kind of old English, right? It's just too old English. We just don't say like this today, but it was used before, like it was really used before. For example, you can just read that this can sound formal and pedantic. Sometimes it's permissible to say, right? But with, like, you know, this kind of teacher intonation, like why do not you do it, right? Why does he not call his mother? But also here we can read that in Jane Austen novels, that was a common construction in the early 19th century. So basically, nowadays we should say doesn't he plus verb or don't we plus verb. But these full forms are kind of too old, so we just don't want to use them, right? Okay, so let's move on to the verb to be. And for the verb to be, it's a little bit different, because if here we use if in this situation we add s for he, she, it, and we don't do anything with other sentences, but here we do something specific for I, for the first person singular, for the third, for the first singular, for the second singular, and for all the others, right? So here we use M for I, and we use M specifically for I. So this to be transforms to M. In this situation, I am tall. It transforms to is for he, she, it, and it transforms to are for you, we, and they, right? And there are also second form of using it, more shorter forms, right? I'm, your, his, for example, he's tall, or you're tall, or I'm tall. So you just don't pronounce this vowel here, and that's totally okay to use these forms as well. It's a little bit informal, but it's okay. And for negative, you just have to add this not word after the to be verb, right? Or you can use one of these shorter forms, short forms, right? I'm not tall, I'm not tall. You are not tall, you aren't tall, you're not tall. He's not tall, he isn't tall, he's not tall. So you see that there are even two different sort of types, two different forms that you can use for negative. You can say you aren't, and you can say you're not, with different accent on different parts of this phrase. And for question as well, you can just really transfer the to be verb to the beginning, and you will get am I tall, are you tall, are we tall, and yeah, that's all. So yeah, that's basically very interesting. And what can I add is just maybe to refresh it just for a little bit, that for he, she, it, we use is, for you we they are, and for I we use am, and short forms as well. Here we just add not, and here we can say isn't or aren't. And actually we can say I'm not, I am not, or we can say I am not as well, like here, but it's kind of, it was a little bit strange for me that we can really say like this, but it looks like we can. But what I want to specify here is that sometimes we also want to construct maybe question plus negative sentences. For example, isn't he lovely, or aren't you, I don't know, an engineer, right? And so for the case am not I, or aren't I, or ain't I, that's kind of not clear, because, well, theoretically, like logically, you have to say amn't I or am not I, which will be totally correct. But I mean, totally correct in the theory, right? But practically, there are like several, cases, several things that people can use here. So it appears that you maybe want to say, let's say, amn't, right? So for example, I want to say amn't, and actually as a short form of am not, right? But people are saying that this is the situation, that is a phrase that can only be used like in Ireland or in Scotland, and people use it in these places, but actually it appears that it's kind of dialectic form of speaking, and there are two answers from people in Quora website who basically say that you can certainly you certainly can use it, but it's more of a dialectic phrase, right? Okay, so second one is can we use am not I, for example, am not I a teacher, right? And so people are saying that basically that's kind of kind of too strong, right? To teach a little bit teacher's intonation here, authoritative intonation. For example, I believe I am your teacher, am I not? Right? So it's kind of too formal. And here people are saying that I am you here, am I not? It's only in a fairly formal context, right? And so what basically we can use here is aren't I or ain't I? And that's kind of not logical, right? Because we use am plus I and we use are for the different situation. But it appears that for some reason we can say aren't I or even ain't I. And what people are saying about this, and for example, here people saying this that's about amn't. For example, people are saying that amn't is also something that can be used. With this three people are saying that. And with aren't or ain't, people are saying that aren't is the correct form to use, and ain't is also the correct form, a little bit informal, right? And some person explains it with some sort of phonetic approach, right? So he basically says that you maybe if you like are based on logic, you should probably say amn't, which is now dialectic form. But if you say amn't too much, right? For example, amn't, it transforms to just ain't, for example, and it was maybe close to ain't. So maybe there are some sort of phonetic processes, some sort of English historical processes that appears there. And what is like final conclusion is that amn't is a dialectic, am not I is too formal, but aren't and ain't are kind of totally okay, and ain't it's partly informal, right? So that's what that was kind of interesting. Yeah, kind of interesting because it's interesting how to formulate this question plus negative sentences, and it's also interesting that here we can also use like even two possible. We have two possible ways of speaking. So we can use isn't or it's not, right? So it appears when do you want to make a short form. So if you want to make short form in this place between this T and S, then this word you have to have long word here, right? It's not. But if you want to make short form here with is plus not isn't, then this word right becomes full. Yeah, so that's kind of cool for me. Yes, and so yeah, so basically here we have to say either ain't I or aren't I. Okay, great. Yeah, right. So am is a dialectic form. Am not I is just too formal, a little bit teacher's intonation, authoritative intonation. Aren't it's correct. And ain't is also correct. Maybe a little bit informal, right? Okay, so that's maybe everything that I wanted to say for today. So I'm waiting you in my next video where I'm planning to go to the next topic, and we are going to speak about emphatic present simple and about present continuous and about the differences between the present simple and the present continuous. And it's kind of not that not that easy, because there are some tricky situations when everybody, including myself, maybe think that we should maybe we should use present continuous, right? But at the same time, it can be present simple. And basically what I'm planning to do is just to go through all of the topics in this book by adding some information just from myself, from my own perspective, and from course answers, and from maybe some other books like English Grammar in Use. And yeah, so just stay tuned, and thank you for watching.